When should I tell my in-laws that I'm having their dead son's baby? Background: I, 35F, lost my husband, 32M, in a car accident 3 weeks ago. 2 days ago I found out that I'm pregnant. By my calculation I am just over 5 weeks now. It's the first only child for either of us. Before he died, we knew we wanted a child sometime in the near future, but we were not trying yet, so on top of everything else, it's a huge surprise. I am okay with it. I am heartbroken beyond belief that we won't get to raise this child together and that they won't get to know their father, but I'm glad this baby exists. I told my immediate family because, well, I couldn't stand to hang on to this information alone. They know I want to keep it private for now and I trust them not to tell everyone before I'm ready. I am currently thinking I'll tell everyone else, extended family, friends, co-workers, at 12 weeks. I'm just not sure when to tell my in-laws, meaning my husband's immediate family, his parents and sister. I am fairly close with them, especially my ML and SIL, and we get along very well. Part of me wants to tell them now simply because I wouldn't feel right keeping it from them for the next 7 weeks and I wouldn't want them to feel hurt or excluded that I didn't tell them earlier. The other part wants to wait until my first trimester is over because there's a very real chance I could miscarry and, if that happens, I don't want to cause them any more pain. His parents have mentioned before that they would love to have grandchildren, and this would be their first. I think if I told them and then lost the baby they would be heartbroken. Should I tell them ASAP, wait until after my OB appointment at 8 weeks, or wait until the end of my first trimester at 12 weeks? Update: basically, my husband died a little over a month ago, 2 weeks when I made the post. I had just found out I was pregnant with our first child and couldn't decide when to tell his immediate family because I wanted them to know but didn't want to get them excited all for something to go wrong. I ended up telling them the day after I made the post because I didn't feel right keeping it from them. It was bittersweet as you can imagine, but they were really excited. Yesterday I had my first doctor's appointment and so far everything looks perfect. The baby looks like a little gummy bear and has a strong heartbeat at 160 BPM. I'm due October 7th. I showed my in-laws the sonogram last night. This kid is going to grow up surrounded by people who adore him. Her. Update: in our widowers, you're handling it so well. I don't know how you do it. Someone said that thing to me today. It was a colleague. I know she meant well. I'm usually pretty good at hiding my emotions when I need to, but that doesn't mean they're not there. I still don't even know what I'm supposed to say to comments like that. It almost made me feel a little nauseous. It's been less than 2 months. Going back to work has actually been okay because it gives me something to focus on besides my own feelings. I can be someone else besides that woman whose husband died. But then I go home and have to brace myself before I go inside to our house and he won't be there. I would probably just sit in my car, but the dog needs to be fed and he barks when I pull in the garage. I was actually having a relatively okay-ish day. Everything feels like 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Or maybe 1 step forward and 2 steps back. I don't even know anymore. Update: we have a son. I had my 12-week appointment last week and got the CVS results back yesterday. It's a boy and all indications are that he's normal and healthy. I sat on my kitchen floor and sobbed after I got the call. I waited until I got the test results back to start telling everyone, except immediate family. I've told most of my close relatives now. Most of my family are in another state or overseas and it sucks not being able to see them right now. I am a little overwhelmed by everyone's support, but it helps to know that he will be surrounded by people who love him, even if his dad isn't here. My husband was a good man and I don't know how to raise a boy to be a good man without him to help, but I want to do my very best for him. His middle name will be his father's first name. I'm heartbroken that my son won't get to know his father. I'm terrified of raising a child alone, but I'm happy I have him, and I'm excited to see and meet and hold him, and then I feel guilty for feeling happy about anything less than 2.5 months after my husband died. It's just a lot of feelings all at once. Update: he's missing out on so much. Earlier today I felt our baby boy kick for the first time. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever felt and I still can't believe my husband won't be here to experience any of it. I didn't find out I was pregnant until after he died. He can't be there for any of the ultrasounds, he'll never get to feel the baby move, there won't be any photos of him holding his only child for the first time in the hospital, he won't be there for his first words, his first steps, his first day of school or his graduation. Our son will have to go through all those things, seeing other kids there with their fathers and knowing his isn't there. We were supposed to do all this stuff as a family. I'm actually having one of the best weeks I've had since he died. I decided on a name and bought some stuff for the nursery and felt him move for the first time. But then I think about how happy we would be if we were doing it together. I'm glad I have our son and I already don't know what I would do without him. But having so many mixed feelings over every single moment is exhausting. Update in our baby bumps: did anyone feel less bonded with their baby after birth? So I want to start off by saying this baby is loved and wanted and I am looking forward to meeting him. But the pregnancy wasn't planned and I definitely did not plan on doing it alone. My husband died in January. I'm 34 weeks and I'm getting more nervous as I get closer to my due date. I definitely feel bonded with the baby right now. I love him tremendously, and I love feeling him kick, but I don't know what things will be like once he's on the outside. I don't know how I am supposed to take care of a whole person on my own. My family and friends are very supportive, but with COVID-19 the ways they can help are limited. I'm doing what I can to be prepared, but I know taking care of a baby is hard even for two parents. What if I have a difficult delivery or recovery? What if he hardly ever sleeps and still isn't sleeping at night when I go back to work, so I'm never able to sleep? What if he has colic and I can't hand him off to anyone else so I can get a moment's peace? What if I just feel like a bad mom? I'm afraid that if it's too hard I'll feel less bonded with him or even start resenting him. Update: I've been writing letters to the baby every month, and I plan to keep doing it, hopefully still every month, once he's born. I want to remember the little things that happen every month that might not make it into the baby book, and writing things down helps a little with all the big feelings I have about bringing a child into the world, now at this point in history and in my own life. I'll give them all to him someday, maybe when he turns 18. I'm due a month from tomorrow and this the letter I wrote him to mark 8 months. Dear Sab, I have definitely reached the cantaloupe on toothpicks stage of this pregnancy. As I watch and feel you grow right before my eyes, I am getting more and more anxious to meet you. As your due date approaches, I can also feel myself getting more nervous. Nervous because I've never done this before, nervous because there are so many unknowns, nervous because I want to be the best mother I can be. I have to confess I am already second-guessing so many parenting decisions. Is your car seat safe enough? Will your name fit you? Did I pick the right nanny? One thing I do know is how much I love you. After your father died, I didn't think I would ever be able to love someone this much, and definitely not this soon. The months since he died have been the hardest of my life, but falling in love with you was easy. It feels strange to say that I'm lucky, but it's true. Losing your dad was the worst thing to ever happen to me. I still feel angry with Allah for taking him from me, for letting you grow up without your father. Remember one thing, by the way, it's okay to be angry with Allah. He can take it. In many ways though, I am fortunate. I'm healthy, you're healthy, and we have a loving and supportive family who can't wait to meet you. I know it's silly, but sometimes I worry that you won't like me. I know some kids prefer their dad over their mom or vice versa, and then I realize you won't have that option, and that feels worse. I don't know you as a person yet, but I know that I like you a lot already, if only because you make me smile and laugh every day. My job is to be your mom, not your friend. But I do hope that you'll like me too and that we can enjoy spending time together. A couple weeks ago I summoned up the courage to watch a video of your dad and me on my phone, just a silly video of us joking around. It's so hard for me to watch videos of him. When his voice came on you started kicking like crazy. I don't know if you were just responding to the sound or if you somehow knew whose voice it was, but it gave me a much-needed moment of wonder amidst the pain. Thanks for doing that. Now that your due date is only a month away, this might be the last letter I write to you before you get here. Wallahi, I will keep writing them after you're born. I'm going to miss your gymnastics and how, when I touch my belly, you push your little back against my hand like, oh, yeah, that's the spot. Still, I am so excited to have you on the outside and get to know you better. I can't wait to finally meet the boy who gave me so much hope. Love, Mama. Update: our son is here. Our son was born on Saturday. 7 pounds, 5 ounces, 20.5 inches. His name is Sabri David. Sabri means patient and originates from sabr, which in Islam refers to persistence or steadfastness in one's faith, especially in the face of challenges. David was my husband's name and appropriately enough also means beloved. He was born 8 months and 8 days after his father's death. We're both healthy. I had a pretty easy labor, as far as labor goes, but still it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's bittersweet. He is incredible and I am obsessed with him. His coloring is like mine and he has a full head of beautiful black hair, but his ears look like my husband's. I'm so thrilled that he's here and I love him more than the world, but I just keep thinking how amazing it would have been if my husband and I could have done it together. I still can't believe he will never meet his dad. Update 9 months today. Most days get easier but the anniversaries get harder. I can't believe it's been 3/4 of a year since I've seen him or touched him. I'm pretty happy most of the time, but there is always a nagging feeling that things would be so much better if he were here. We could have spent quarantine together making each other laugh instead of me spending it alone. I wouldn't have a panic attack from seeing a traffic safety commercial. He could have come to my doctor's appointments and heard our baby's heartbeat and felt him kick. He could have helped decorate the nursery. He could have been there for the birth of his son. We could have enjoyed every milestone together. He could have taught him how to be a good man. Instead, he never even got to know that we had a child. I try not to dwell, but constantly beating back all the feelings of what if is exhausting. I'm usually very strict about putting the baby in his crib for every single nap, but today I barely want to put him down. If it weren't for this amazing boy, I don't know how I would have made it this far. Update 1 year today. The love of my life has been gone from this world for a whole year. If you had asked me a year ago, I never would have thought I'd survive this long without him. I almost want to laugh at how mind-blowingly insane the last year has been. I can't believe how much has changed in my life and in the world since then. I wouldn't have thought I would get the chance to be a mother, and now he has a son who will never get to meet him, who in spite of everything we went through while I was carrying him, came out the happiest kid. It feels like every single thing that happens for the rest of my life will be a reminder of his absence. In a way, I want to be reminded because it means I remember what it was like when he was here, and I don't want to forget. I just wish my son's existence wasn't inextricably linked in my mind to his father's death. Most of the time I am okay. I try not to be bitter, but some days it's hard. I am finding joy in things even if they also make me sad. All things considered, I know I'm pretty lucky. OP drops by to update us. Oh wow, thank you so much for your kind wishes everyone. I'm coming up on the 2nd anniversary of my husband's death, so it's a tough time of year. It's crazy to think it's been 2 years already. Everything has changed, but it feels like yesterday. My son is a walking, talking, huggable and easily lovable 15-month-old now. His personality so far is a lot like his dad's, easygoing, affectionate, always smiley and in a good mood. He is soothing to my soul. He gives me a reason to want to get out of bed every day, because I'm always excited to see him. So that helps. I've struggled with delayed onset PTSD from my husband's accident and have panic attacks and flashbacks. I actually had the first panic attack of my life when I was in the car on the way to the hospital to have my son, although I didn't realize what it was until afterward. I'm learning to cope in therapy. It's been tough, but I'm making progress and learning to let the grief and joy coexist. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.